Hello, everybody. 3 of you guys were waiting on me. That's fun. Hello. I saw one person. I'm not sure who that was yet. Let's get you guys set up. Pop out chat. Up here. Make it Elijah one. Okay. Hello, Ken Zarish, John Lowell, Ron Sheps, Cameron Sinison, Bloody FX Makeup, Happenin' Mojo, Larry Hughes, hello sir, Lindy Beto, Scott Coldheart, Susan Atai, Michelle Schulte, Skin and Bones, Scuba Steve, Stanley S, Christopher Lazote, Blackcraft 27, Brian Lippert, Your Mom's Puddin'. I love that YouTube name. Been out with broken ribs. But I hate broken ribs. They're not as fun as you would think. Try sneezing. It's a great time. Stricken Ghoul. Hello. Philly G. 1001. Warmonger. DM Cash. Chad Smith. Scott Pointer. John Kerr. Line Cook 4 2006. Jamie Paxton. Davey New Under God. Yo. Big Dog Mask. Black Crack. Not Black Crack 27. Black Craft 27, Nate Slanker, Captain Marga, Ellis Fire, Mike Cherzanowski. That's a lot of people. Kiss My Glass Custom Engravings. Hello. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome to hanging out with us. Howdy. Jeff Leach, Jody Cardinal, Dave Jennings, Happenin' Mojo, Rhonda Toy. Let's do 3 more. JLR 538M, Dave Oplinger, and Head Static. Johnny V, I shouldn't have done you, but you said hello with a question mark, so I will say hello back. Howdy. All right. So, it happened to be in your recommended. That's cool. All right. So today I've been very busy. I've been in the shop all a day. I'm gonna miss. Hello, everybody. Hello, Scotland. Well, you guys are awesome. You guys are just boom on. It's good. That way I'm not in the shop all lonely and stuff. Okay, so it is Halloween ends. 2 days of quiet. Boom! Christmas hits. Krampus, Krampus, Krampus. Elf, Elf, Elf. A lot of that going on. So that is happening. All of these are poured up. This is the orc that Big Dog sent right here. And maybe by the end of the broadcast, I'm going to turn the fans on. By the end of the broadcast, I can pull that and I can show folks that new Krampus mask. Yeah, that's the only new mask you'll see. Okay. This is a terror pin, which is going to turn out to be Gamera. Had to get that one drained. This is Calibos, which I'm turning into a Krampus. That's a lot of shimmy right there. You want the shimmy? You can't handle the shimmy. Okay, let's close this up. Get you guys back in here first. Let's steal a beverage from the photo. Okay. Yeah, the problem is they all want them by December 1st. They all want them by December 1st. And yeah, that's what they all want. So yes, it's good to have them, but it's a lot of work at one very particular point of time. This is the feast part of Feast or Famine. I got a to find, my back brace is here somewhere. I should put it on. I don't know where it is, but you're a very good idea. It'll start hurting eventually. Okay, Sweet Baby Ray's. That's, I think, the best commercially available barbecue sauce. That is my favorite. Okay, let's see if I missed any questions. It cuts. It has been. I haven't seen you on in a while. Well, very cool. I've been seeing your sculptures. I think you got a doll sculpt going on right now. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I have to already say no to some Krampus orders because I have too many at this point for the time that they need them in. Handheld water vapor float. Well, that's very interesting, Blotty. That sounds cool. Big dog. Yes, it is time for the party. All right, and with that, I'm caught up. Wife will probably be over here in a bit. Yes. Robert, I'm so glad that you do not have the Rona. That's great. Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud, but you did just say your test came back negative. So, you know. What about a demon turkey for Thanksgiving? I will try the Earl Campbell sauce. I will try that. Wife will be over in a while. Currently, I'm on my own and unsupervised. I may have gotten more soda than I can squeeze into my QT cup. Remember somebody commenting that they thought that I went to like Quick Trip every couple of hours to get a soda. I just refill them. These are such nice cups. It's my favorite kind of cup to drink out of. It's a good size. And I don't want to throw this away. This is not a single-use item. Maybe I got just the right amount of soda. You guys want to see what $400 worth of silicone looks like? This is it. That's a $400 silicone mold in there. Whee! Dude, I love Krampuses, man. They're one of my favorite monsters, and they've really changed the holiday season for me and how my life works. Well, that's cool. Kiss my glass. That's very interesting. Silicone is not cheap, my friend, and this right here is a little over 2.5 gallons of silicone inside of this mold. There are other ways I could have done this. I could have done a matrix mold, but I wanted the solidity of a block mold. This is another mold for my resin head forms. I want to keep selling those, so I did a good one. I cleaned it up, and then this is just another mold for those resin head forms. Oh, I just told you. Yes. I'm not a big secret guy. You should know that by now. I keep a couple, but not too many. Hello, Joanne Crowley. A Klingon ad monster. Klingons are cool. They're my favorite part of Star Trek. Yeah. Hello, Ken Pahosky. Did I say that right? Ken Pahosky? Howdy. Yes, I should be able to get about 40 or 50 of those, of the head forms out of this mold before it dies. And I sell them for $60 a piece, and each one has about 15 to 20 bucks of material in it. So then it's time. And this mold should allow me to make them in a faster time to cut that down. I buy my eyeballs from a lot of places, but mostly you're probably thinking of Van Dyke's Taxidermy. Hello, the Haunt Dermots. Rotocast, I don't... Pihosky. It's a long E, I guess. Okay, so Jeff Leach, the quick question, what's the best clay to start sculpting? Well, I have to ask you another question. Where are you sculpting? If you're sculpting in your kitchen, I'm going to say oil-based clay. If you're sculpting in your living room next to your wife who's watching TV, I'm going to say oil-based clay, like monster clay. But if you are sculpting in a shop or in a garage, I'm going to say water-based clay. So you have a couple options based off of where you're working. That does change things. Scott, as always, is the man. You're correct. I won't get much done if I read comments all night long. But you know what? I want to be interactive. That's how it goes. And I'm waiting for my soda to fizz out anyway. It's probably ready and delicious. Did I ever sculpt, did I ever mold a tiny, yes, I did. I thought I did a video of it. I have a whole thing here of skull pins. Tiny skull. I make pins out of them. And because these are, I use those on my grave diggers. Yes, oil-based is the way to go. The Life of Colin RS, thank you very much, you're very kind. So, I have a couple things to work on tonight. I've already gotten 2 masks drained out. It made me feel bad, like if I read comments, I'm not going to get it working. Yeah, you know what? I think I will offer the skull pins like by themselves. I don't know. You think that's something? Somebody? I'll take them to TW. That's what I'll do when I do trade shows. Yeah. All right. Alexa, countdown. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Starting now.
It is reusable and castable. That's true. I will try to do that. Kiss my glass. You've told me this at the beginning of a 3-hour live stream. So, yes, you are very kind. Life of Colin RS. Life of Colin. I don't know if it's here or at the house. So once wife comes back, then I will run and grab it. The problem, I wear it here, and then I go to the house and I take it off and I leave it there. Hello, Micro Halloween. Hello, Lopercon. Hello, Mike Murphy. Can't decide where I want to put you. Can you tell? I think I need you over here. It should not get contaminated, no. Hello, Lisa. The latex doesn't get contaminated, as you say. What happens is, if you have chunks or something in there, you want to make sure no little plaster fall off and into the latex, but those will cause big clot. That's all. And I'm cleaning off this area so that I can try to maybe work on some elves this evening. And all of this is sculpting stuff, but I'm going to blame that on my wife, that she had out. I would gladly blame my wife when she is not here. I find it's the best policy. A great churro? Is it like churro? Oh, chiropractor. Okay, gotcha. Ooh, Pumpkinhead. I may have to come back and get my glasses. I had shop help here earlier today. He was with me from 10, like this is second shift, man. I was in the shop working at like 8:30 this morning, and then I worked with him until he left at about 5 o'clock, and then I took a little break, and now I'm back here at 7 o'clock. So there you go. Her sculpt is coming along. She won't believe you, Dave. She won't believe you. She would believe you. She's probably watching. What's the plan for the bird? Like, oh, all right. So that is a terror pin. It's actually a turtle, and that one is going to probably turn into a owl bear at some point. I'm going to make an owl bear out of him. How much extra is EVA helmet when you convert a half mask to a full mask? Okay, so hello Rodney, it is good to be on tonight. And you guys are at a little bit of a Dutch tilt. Let's stop that. There we go. Gamera is in the mold and coming out. That one, when I knew I was doing Gamera, that one had already been cut and the eye screen is in and stuff. And since Gamera is going to be on a plaque, I don't want to use one that's already cut and trimmed to have the eyes cut out. Brad, well, just keep watching videos and you will learn the art. Josh Wilson, I love that. Get back to work. Start making stuff. Start sculpting. Hooray. And I was going to answer a question and I forgot it. Okay, so how much is that Eda Foam Helmet? The cost, my cost on an Eda Foam Helmet when it's done is about $30, $35 because I have the material cost, and if I don't put it together myself, then it takes someone about an hour to put a single helmet together. And I pay people, my shop help, I pay by the hour. I pay them. Because this is a business, why wouldn't I pay them? Now, there might be an intern situation, or they're just here to learn, or whatever, that's fine. Alexa, stop. And yeah, so, oh, Mike, it looks like this place is a wreck all the time. I clean every day that I'm in the shop, every day. And I'm just checking to make sure that latex hasn't pooled in a cheek or something on this mold. And that's why I set that timer a while ago. Yeah, great. So, normally, I add at least $50 to a mask to make it into a full head, at least. Because EVA foam requires something else too. Oh, I can't wait to see that. I would love to see the Yule Goat in his new home. Okay. I have. You know what? Let's start on Jack Frost. Let's just Jack Frost it up. Can't decide where I want to put you guys. So we'll get Jack Frost going first, and then I have a wife. Hello. Yes. Sorry, I'm cleaning off the spot for the wife. Shannon's sculpt is not quite finished yet. She has life duties as well. It hasn't been in the shop as much as I would like. She has this pesky thing called a job that requires her attention.
You got your chair?
I have my chair. Well, I have a chair. Yeah, this is mine. I'm excited about Shannon's sculpt. So what happened to the fancy new camera setup? It's in progress and development. The issue we had was microphone. Another issue we have is the internet here may not support that much request from it. I'm asking a lot of log cabin internet. So, what?
She said, oh shit, because you're here, he really isn't even help to focus.
I'm just wandering around and carrying the camera like I don't know what I'm doing. That's true. And there's enough people on where it's like constant comments. And if someone even commented, if you keep answering comments, you're not going to get anything done. Like, I don't know, thanks.
I think this is easy.
Yeah. This is not for sissies.
No. Where?
Okay. All right, so before I start like airbrushing, yes. Before I start airbrushing, Cheney.
What are you?
Cheney, hey.
Alright. First things first,
They
hit-
love this thing.
hit thumbs up.
Cheney says, hey everybody, how's it going? I like to talk to creepers. I don't know why they love the air gun, but they do. What were you asking me? I wasn't paying attention at all. I'm easily distracted.
What's going on with you? Alright. Hello everyone. Said, know your Joe, how much does one need to spend to go from zero to a prominent latex half mask? Painted with no hair, basic colors for all tools and supplies, please.
I would say in the neighborhood of $150. In the neighborhood of $150. That's being, now is that, there's no such thing as all tools, by the way. Because there's very specialty things that you might only need, like I have a flocking gun. That's not all, you said no hair, but you know what I mean? That's a very specific specialty tool.
Hey Rodney,
Yeah, Rodney's on.
Angie Rogers, smashed your finger at work and wasn't bad, but banged up a little.
I smashed my finger really good during Monster Camp. Somebody, I'm not going to say who, made like a 200-pound dragon mold, and in pouring up or pouring out or something, it got my finger really good. I'm mostly recovered, but. I am a little not focused. Even they're noticing.
Kiss my glass, custom engravings. Alan, do you have any other goat masks besides the three-eyed goat on your website?
Well, see, here's the kicker. What I do, all right, take the three-eyed goat and I just clay off the front. So I have made a Yule goat. I have made the three-eyed demony goat. I mean, I can make.
Four-horned goat?
Oh, I made a four-horned goat monster guy. So that same sculpt and mold doesn't have to have three eyes. So technically, yes, and at the same time, no. I hope that helped you.
Ezekiel Bradshaw. My shred before bed era.
Yeah. Hey, wife,
Holy moly, that's so good.
a story?
No.
Because well, you should get ready. Get ready. Because I need to go over to get my back brace. I now present to you wife.
Oh, wife. Who's here? Okay. So, Thanksgiving's coming. I know that lots of people don't like Christmas because they think they're being unfaithful. I see you. What are you doing? Guys, this is my life. This is my life. You know? I mean, this happens every day. Something like this happens every day. I have a hashtag that says, being Mrs. Hobbs is not for sissies. I am not kidding. Okay. Anyway, we have a tradition at Thanksgiving that we're going to share with you guys. So look for Thanksgiving Day for us to go live here from our house. If you've seen it before, you know what I'm talking about. But I've seen a lot of comments about you make a turkey, make a zombie turkey, whatever. there is a turkey to be seen on Thanksgiving from our house. And you will see it most likely live. Alan will probably show it to you. It is, every year, it gets a little bigger and a little wilder. So before I carve the turkey, Alan gets to decorate the turkey in whichever way he sees fit. And as you can probably imagine, it's exactly what you think it's going to be. Last year he went to the grocery store and he got an octopus. So there's tentacles. And so every year it's something different. And I will tell you that I have no idea what he's going to do. But on Thanksgiving, watch for us to go live so that you can see the Stiltby Studios Hops Family traditional turkey. It's terrible. Everybody loves it, but it's terrible. And it will be probably brought on live. We'll certainly have it on the Facebook page. So that is a little tradition. Another tradition, I think I've told you this guys before, but just out of fun. Lots of times Thanksgiving is just me and Alan, which is kind of great. But neither one of us have family that lives close by, and so sometimes in the past it's just been the two of us. And this year it's just going to be four of us. It's just Alan and me and my mom and dad. So even with just four of us, when it's just two of us, Alan insists on picking out the turkey. And again, you'll see a lot of these really cute articles and such, Thanksgiving for two. It's nice. I love that idea. He loves Thanksgiving for two because he doesn't have to wear pants. Let's be honest. That's really what it is. But either way, if it's just the two of us, he picks out the turkey. Not a turkey breast, not a Cornish hen, not a modest-sized turkey or any kind like this. Oh no. Last year, he picked out a 24-pound turkey for two of us. The rule is, he gets to pick the turkey and I will cook it, no matter what size. So, I don't know what size turkey I'm cooking this year. Another tradition at Thanksgiving is the man of the house gets to make the mashed potatoes. He loves to do that, so that is so a tradition. And that's his favorite part is mashed potatoes and turkey. But he will pick out the biggest turkey he can get his hands on. And last year, a 24-pound turkey for two adults. I was never so tired of turkey in my life, but that's the tradition. He gets to pick out the turkey, and this is very important. Then he gets to decorate it after I've cooked it. So, if you are on Facebook or Instagram and you see our page there, check us out on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a very big holiday here, even if it's just two of us. And it's a big holiday because notoriously it's probably the most quiet holiday we have, which is not true at all. Because we will have Thanksgiving dinner, but then Thanksgiving night, there's always a really good chance we're going to go live. Because, we're kind of working. And we will be working all through the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. No Black Saturday, Friday or anything like that. We'll be here. So you can watch for us. If you guys get bored or you're tired of your family, tune in. We will most likely be live at some point, if not a lot, around Thanksgiving. So there you go. Watch on Thanksgiving for the turkey, the Stiltby's turkey, the traditional Hops family turkey. We will go live, and he will get to show you what he made this year.
Yeah.
It's awesome. There you go. Does that help? Feel better?
Yes. Okay.
Know what you're doing?
I kind of know what I'm doing.
Anything else?
I have well,
Is it elf night?
it should be elf night. However, I'm out of blue ink. Like, I don't have any blue ink. I have some on order. Some is on its way, but I don't have any right now. So I might have, because I want to airbrush this with blue. And I have other things that I can do first. Yes, you know what? Let's base out the Frankenelves. Let's do that. Remember these guys that put ears on?
People said dinner with no pants. That's a whole new level of improvement.
Yes. Everything tastes better without pants on. These ears were not part of this mask, so there you go.
Thank you, Chris. Sure. Hello, Ben.
Gotta love Buc-ee's.
Chad Smith says dinner without pants. Can you need more?
Yeah. No restriction.
Gene Sanders says about 25 years ago in Cali, me and some friends went in on an emu. We raised him, then we ate him for days.
Awesome. I will say that I had an ostrich burger and I was not a fan. I'm like, I'm not digging the ostrich.
Is it dingy?
See, I'm gonna say it tasted like socks, like the way socks smell. That's how this ostrich tasted. I was not a fan of it.
So, does everybody know what you're working on tonight? You said you were kind of scattered tonight.
I'm a little scattered. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm just wandering around in circles, and sometimes I paint stuff.
Okay, well, what you doing? What are you doing?
I'm gonna get these two. I'm gonna get these two based out, and I'll start their paint jobs. I'm gonna hit a roadblock on them when I lose the blue, but when I need blue, but I can at least get closer.
They're telling you forgot your glasses.
I did forget to grab my glasses. You're absolutely. I think I have one pair over here, though. I hope. That kind of day, guys. That kind of day.
Have you had kangaroo?
I have had kangaroo. I did not mind kangaroo. And alligator, I ate every day for a couple months while I worked at Gatorland. So, dry brushing. I don't go into this a lot. I don't like teach how to dry brush very often. What I did was I loaded up my brush and then I am putting it and I'm dragging it across the surface of this until I see that it's not a solid blob of paint. I'm just hitting those high areas. So that's what I'm doing now up here on the mask. So up here, now I'm confident how much is on my brush, and I'm just dragging it across these areas. If the lines, if the sculpture goes this way, I have to go perpendicular to that. I can't go parallel, or else I'm going to go down in those trenches. If I go down in those trenches, then there's no point in me dry brushing really, because I'm covering up the black. I want separation of color. I want those little islands of color that are happening on that. So I have to be careful while I'm dry brushing of which way. And now I'm going faster because, you know, I kind of know this sculpture. I know what it does, so I'm going faster. But I am watching the whole time to make sure I don't go the wrong way and start filling in some of those lines. And you have to put enough paint on. Because the funny thing about dry brushing is I have to put enough paint on to where it is going to be a flesh-colored mask with black depths, not a black mask with flesh-colored highlights or a gray mess. You know, so you've got to get it to at least a certain point. And I know how much I want on there, so I'm working towards that goal. One layer of color is not enough, but you see how this pops all that detail out. And you'll notice I haven't loaded up my brush again yet. I'm still going off of that first load of brush. Now I put a little more on, but I'm taking it off here. That's why there's paint everywhere on everything. I do a lot of dry brushing. And so painting, it doesn't do you a lot of good to drag your brush around a lot because you're just thinning out what you put on. Dry brushing, you kind of do want to soften those edges It's a little more forgiving with beating it up with your brush, because there's not much on there. And I'm getting the teeth, I'm getting the lips, I'm getting everything on this particular pass. And I will move to the next mask, and then I'll do a second coat of this. Because these get a little translucent, and you can see there's a lot of gray in that flesh tone that I made, and I made a lot of white in that flesh tone, so I'm seeing the need for a second coat. What's that, wife?
He was kind of still on. So there's a lot of conversation about we had Gator, we've had all these different together. There's been a big conversation about food. Right, says that she hates how stores get out of Christmas decorations before Halloween.
Okay, so we had our time, and now it's time for the Christmas people. Now they might get a little more time than us, but you know what? If you want to fix it, you start managing a store, and you start putting out October and July. You know, that's what you got to do. Everything has its time. I don't want it to be Halloween again right now. I'm not ready for it to be Halloween again all of a sudden. I need time to prepare. I got to get things together. I want the world to settle in so that the next time we have Halloween, it's going to be awesome. Let them have a funky Christmas. Let them deal with this. Enjoy your viral Christmas people.
Boy, Loco says hello. Kiss my glass custard.
Did you say the crazy chicken said hello? Okay, that's awesome.
That would make a good Nosferatu mask if we were rework on the Sculpt.
It could, but I already have a Nosferatu mask, which I think also makes a good Nosferatu mask.
Blackcraft 27. I've used a lot of dry brushing techniques in woodworking, and it works well.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of dry brushing.
Me too. It really does a great job to pop details and stuff. And it dries faster, so because you're not putting as much paint on, it's going to dry faster, and that means that you get to work faster and paint faster. Of which
1980 is on his dad's list.
uh-oh.
Line Cook Jamie says, I'm going to buy some reindeer for the parts.
Oh, well, are you buying used reindeer? Because Kindy's, Kindys, Kindy's, they actually sell the reindeer motors. So, and they're only like $11, the reindeer motors. I buy them a lot from there, actually.
Jeremiah Dempsey would like to know, did you glue paper in these years?
No. So what I did, and the last live video we did, I think it was the last live video in time.
That was Wednesday.
Wednesday night. These are ears. These are separate ears that you can purchase to be elf ears. And in the interest of saving time, I wondered how it would work if I glued these guys onto masks. And I like it. And basically I took, it's pressed cellulose, but it's blue shop towel. And I used contact cement to attach these on. So they're on really well. But yes. I don't know what the question was. Did I answer the question?
Ezekiel says, any Australians looking for reindeer motor, shoot me a message. I know we could find them.
Yeah.
Bro Moment says, hey again. I looked at all the basics and stuff, and I even started making a mask of my own.
Well, that's very cool.
Mask Slasher says hello. Misty Jezereski says, I saw an awesome video where they created hellhounds out of yard reindeer. That's in my plans to make.
That's awesome.
Fun. That's fun. I like that.
I do have some Christmas projects coming up where I'm making Christmas stuff. But you know me, it's going to be scary Christmas stuff. It's going to be on the darker, creepier side of Christmas. But, you know, those same techniques, you can make anything.
Gun Fun Tattoo says, Hey, Alan Rock from GF Tattoos in Houston here. I'm so excited to finally catch you live. I've been watching your videos for a long time. I would love to plan a day trip to Plano and check out the shop.
Cool, absolutely. I'm about an hour southeast of Plano. I'm about an hour southeast of Plano, but Plano is dark hour, and that is actually a really good place to be shown also. So let me know, hit me up. Trying to think of what I can work on right now until my blue comes in. Yeah, it's shipped.
140 people are watching. Tech, new here. Do you sell masks? Also, do you make zombie masks?
Yes and yes. StiltBeastStudios.com is where my work is. StiltBeastStudios.com. Hopefully, one of my awesome admins will drop a link. I do sell masks there. I have several zombie. You know what? I think I only have zombie blanks on right now because I haven't had to finish any zombie masks out in a while to get good pictures.
Check, I've got you. Just sent you a link. 1980 says, what about the dive helmet?
Well, I don't need that right now. That's not very Christmassy. No one has ordered it. So eventually that will get finished.
Mask slasher. I'm excited to show you. Doing the shroom is almost finished. I've just got to touch up a few areas with a wash stuff a little more than I wanted to seal.
That's awesome. How did the Dremel work for you for getting some of that detail back in there?
Celeste Kitty says, Alan, do you make custom border prosthetics?
Not that often. Simply because of a lot of different face shapes. We make them all the time for dark hour, but normally we don't. That's not something that I normally do. There are other people who I think are better at it than me, so I kind of let them do it. 2 coats, 1 coat.
Ron Schwab's, hello, Ron. It doesn't look like Kitty's has the reindeer motors anymore.
I'll find the link, because they did.
Brandon Ferretti says hello.
Hello, Brandon Ferretti. It's a little dangerous to start right in the middle of the face like I just did because, you don't always know. There could be a big blob of paint on your brush and that you didn't see or something. So it's always safer to start somewhere not important, like top of the head, take a look at your brush, see how it's doing, and then move on to sensitive areas.
And Jeffrey Ferris, who says we love your channel. I'm from Corpus Christi.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. Isn't like the first Whataburger in Corpus Christi? That's worth a pilgrimage. Yeah, see, it's taking a couple layers to really get this light flesh tone to show up and be what I want it to be.
Mask slasher. The works have definitely made a difference. When it comes to dribbling, I need to lighten up. I'm a little heavy-handed.
I think heavy-handed is just something that happens, and that can be fixed with practice. Yeah, they're looking elfy. I should have made drow. It would have been done. Just leave them black. Guys, needs a little more dry time.
Let's see. Ezekiel says, were the ears an additional EVA or original sculpt?
You phrase that in such a way where I cannot answer because neither one of those is correct. These are like purchased elf ears on a hat band. I saw them at a trade show for a retail trade show, so I bought a bunch wholesale to see how they would work. I like them. I like them on the masks. This was a witch sculpt that I added these ears to and turned it into a these guys into elves. I'm pretty happy with them. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that I had an order of ink come in, and I don't know where it is. Like,
Yes, Zero says, Alan, thanks for sharing your creative process with us. Nice to like-minded people doing what they love and create. Did you check the door?
what door?
The door?
Yeah.
The top of the beats?
Yep.
Okay. Where do you purchase your brushes?
So I buy a 96 count box of 1-inch chip brushes from Amazon about once every 3 weeks.
Okay, Hicks is singing Renaissance love songs.
Who is?
So that's done. So Hicks is singing Drunken Sailor.
Hey, Kix. Kix.
Thanks.
This is a channel for mask making, and I'm trying to help people out and answer comments and respond to questions. I would appreciate if you did not do that. We'll be forced to block you. So please don't. If you're bored, please don't hang out here. Go somewhere else. If you want to see some mask making stuff or an adult fat man wander around his shop looking for ink, then hang out. But if not, please go away. We respect each other's time, and you're just wasting people's time. I'm not down with that. Okay. Yes, the blue shop towel is a wonderful material when mixed with contact cement or latex. You know what? I don't have any ink in those bottles, but I know I have like blue ink in other places. But that's blue ink. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Captain Morgan.
Yeah, reminder everybody, we don't talk politics here. We don't talk virus here. This is for monsters and monster making and creativity and the awesomeness of people making stuff.
Matt Slasher, are these female masks? They look a little skinnier than the normal sculpt. Or maybe the camera is playing tricks.
No, you're right. This is a female mask. I made it on a female head form. I did make this a little smaller, but normally the people who play elves are a little smaller, so that is why I did. And I'm always careful to, like, I don't know if I should say a female fit mask, because then, you know, smaller guys might get offended or just not want to wear it or something. But I mean, it's for smaller heads. It's not for fat-headed dudes like myself. It's for more demure heads.
That's what it says. I spent my life with super creative folks, and sometimes it just keeps spinning up and out. Let's find balance or drink a lot. Captain Margaret says, use shop towels to reinforce your making an on-the-spot mask for a sidewalker using just brown paper towel.
That's right. Yes, and then airbrush it and all that. Yeah, I remember that. I've done that a couple times. I mean, it is. It's a great material.
Is this Pinata Ink?
Yes, I will be using Pinata Ink.
How do you get your rolling parts for the new one?
These guys here, I got all of these guys from Home Depot. These are the cheapest ones that Home Depot has. They're like $2.98. I put a new wooden top on them because I need the overhang for the mask clips. So I customized them. But these are just Home Depot cabinets.
What do you think of Ranger inks? I started using them. I think they're good stuff.
I have not used them. I do not know. I'm sure they're fine. I mean, alcohol-based ink is kind of alcohol-based ink, you know.
Lanny Williams.
Hey, Lanny, how's it going, buddy?
Chad Smith. Alan and I started on the door sniffer. Wolf has been ordered for years. Looking forward to doing some different.
Cool.
Evan Mojo says, my male fragility stops at female goblet masks. Said no.
Well, you know what? You never know. It's a crazy world out there, kids.
Dark Nook. I went to Universal Studios Dracula Haunt years ago with my stepmom and I discovered she is irrationally terrified of little people.
That's great. That's also good to know. I keep a list of phobias, and like the weird phobias. Like I don't necessarily care if you're afraid of spiders. I will add your name into my spiders file, but irrational phobias are my favorite. I love them. And little people is more common than you think. Not the little people are more common. The phobia of them is pretty common.
Ronald O'Brien says, I mean the rolling parts you take to the market. I guess it must be true boot. Rolling parts for the boot.
Oh, the steel shelves that I use?
Anthony Pantano says hello.
Hello, Anthony.
Monty T. Freak, what latex paint do you use and why?
So the paint for latex mask is my mix. 1/3 contact cement, 1/3 casting latex, 1/3 distilled water, and then 1/3 latex house paint, interior flat from Home Depot. I happened to use Behr because I find that it's a little more finely ground as far as the pigments are a little finer ground, in my opinion.
Celeste Kitty says, you want me to make a list of my irrational fears? We'll be here a while.
Holy moly.
John Lowell says, what is the phobia of honeycombs and holy things? Trypophobia.
Trypophobia.
Puppet Master. Little people phobia. The next story time with Shannon should tell a story of Dennis and Dolly Molly.
Yeah.
You know what, Puppet Master, I don't think I do that as well as Alan does. But that was a great night.
Maybe I will tell that story at some point.
BC says, here is one. Boy. You are spinning. It's true, it will make my right arm go numb as an unpattern of a regular shaped hole. I'm getting upset just writing that. We can talk to person here for more details. Now they're talking about irrational fears. Dark Nook says, best part was, as soon as they realized the first started through the haunt, and there was like 6 little dudes dressed as those Dracula henchmen waiting for her. Yeah, once they know.
Oh, yeah.
Mass,
Never tell us what you're afraid of.
Mass Slasher. Mushroom was really bright, almost cartoony, and I used watered down black acrylic because I ran out of black ink. I wiped it off, but it's still a little dirty. Is there anything other than water that works?
What did you base it in? Like, what's your base paint made of? You did a rub out with acrylic, basically, is what you're saying.
It says the wet towels is not taking the black off, and I'm trying not to wipe off the red.
No, then I would just dry brush red on top. Dry brush red on top. Don't scrub. You're going to get them both off because it sounds like what you painted with the red with is the same material. The reason why a rub out works is you use alcohol for the rub out and you use a water-based paint for the base paint. That's why a rub out works so well. If you use water-based for both, then you're going to take off one with the other. So no, just dry brush red on top in order to not have that happen. Or you just airbrush and hit it, hit those high spots again. You can bring it back up.
What do you use the ink for?
So the ink is what I use when I'm painting in shading or details or something like that. I might use the ink. The next thing I have to do is I got to hand paint the gums and teeth on this, but then I'm ready for inks. All my shading, all my veining, all my modeling is done with Pinata inks, and the the latex paint that's the base, that's the hard stuff down there,
What type of blue would you get if you mixed yellow and green? It's Jensen.
You would get yellow-green. Blue is a primary color. You cannot mix anything to get blue. Blue, yellow, and red. There's no mixing to get those, unfortunately.
Matt Slasher says the base is latex base.
Yes, I responded to him in that one.
Helen Wright. If anyone has the link for Airbrush Basics 2 and 4, please could you share them? I am after the compressor info before I go shopping.
Okay. Yes, that's there, and then I also have setting up a new shop air compressor for myself. I have a video on just my shop air compressor.
Are all your blanks around the same price, or are they more for one Austin?
They're priced according to size because it just takes more material to make a bigger mask. Hello, Rachel Powell.
Scummy Rise says Alan's visit is crap.
No, that's not the visitor.
This teacher's interesting. My son used to be afraid of big aquatic animals. I thought he would like to go up top of the maybe tank when they were letting kids feed them. I didn't think he'd ever quit swimming.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. When I was kayaking in Silver Spring in Florida, and manatees will go under you. It's like a love seat just is under the water. It's because it's this giant gray. It's like a love seat. It's like a love seat under the water. Manatees.
Could you talk about the blue square pool of pudding?
I have not.
Robert Bryan saw your picture on the internet and
I'm making a new mold. I'm making a new mold for my head form. So the head form that I sell for making half masks on my website. That head form, I'm making a new mold because you only get about 40 or 50 pulls out of a silicone mold or so. And it's time for a new mold. So I'm making it a different way. That is a $400 block of silicone, kids.
what you're making right now is 400.
Yeah. It's always a little bit of tension when you're pouring that much silicone. Hey, Bella.
What's she got?
I don't know where she got it from, but she had a styrofoam head. Bella.
She's shaking it.
Do that. It's mine. No. Look. Look at what she did.
She's shaking it like praying.
Thank you for your help. Your thoughts. Okay.
I saw a person use a lab-grade test tube mixer shaker to mix small bottles of craft paint. It only took seconds and was easier on your wrist. Your phone notifications are on.
Oh. There we go. Okay, we're painting gums. We're doing it without glasses. And it's harder than it should be.
That's all you can from the porch. Okay, Matt's slasher. This is probably a dumb question, but I'm pretty new, so I can ask a dumb question. What is a master mold, aka molding a
Well, so a mold will wear out. You get about 4 out of a plaster mold of a mask. And like the elf mask that I do, I've sold hundreds of those. So one mold won't do it. So you make a copy, a buck, and then you mold it so that you can make more molds of that exact same thing. Now every time you do that process, it gets a little smaller. So you have to be a little bit careful with that.
Ben says, my wife and son had a manatee rodeo riding on a tandem kayak. Warmonger says, these dogs need some shock toys.
They think everything is a shop toy. It's the problem. Everything in the shop is for us.
Amy Jarvis, hello. Hey, Alan and wife. I did a brutal 9-mile hike today. It took an amazing waterfall. Right now, there's nothing I want more than to learn some stuff while not living on college.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Mask Slasher says, when molding a fun-filled mask, do all the same rules apply?
Yes. Yes. 3 or 4 pulls from the mold, and then I'll do another pull. And then like that 4th or 5th pull, I'll foam fill and I'll use that. But I only do it if I've like already have orders for like 10 of them, because most of the masks that I make over their life, I'm only going to sell 20, 30 tops. I make a lot of new masks, so I'm not going to sell that many of any single mask unless it's, you know, like the Gravedigger I have a buck for, and I made a couple molds for the Gravedigger already because he was very popular. I will probably have to do one for Heptaron. I'll probably have to do one for that. And I bet I have to do another mold for Gordinator because he sells well.
Heaven and Mojo says, in addition, a mold with silicone, you can shrink and enlarge the mold with chemicals with fine details to be seen. Kiss My Glass Custom Engraving says, I love the life-size Frank monster in the back.
Yes, he is life-size, except for his arms. His arms are life-size, just not for him. We're going to fix that. That's why we got some.
Master Slasher, I just wanted to be sure if a master mold detail comes out better or anything. That's what I always thought at school. I learned something new today.
No, it's to preserve it. I mean, and that because your 10th pull out of a mold isn't going to be as nice as that 1st or 2nd pull. So, or 3rd, you know. So, pretty early in the process, I go ahead and I mold it again. I allow the mold to self-edit, meaning any little thing that's just going to break off no matter what is already broken off by the time I do my master, and I don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, I allow it to self-edit. And then, all right, so I have some blue ink right here. I don't have it in the ink bottle anymore, but I pour off and stuff so often, and I got enough. I'll be okay.
Dark Nook asks, Alan, were those ears on the elf part of the mold, or were they added later? And if they were part of the mold, how did you avoid undercuts?
They were actually, but listen, undercuts are not the big deal you think they are. A lot of people who talk about undercuts and what a problem it is, they used to sculpt in Chavant clay, and they're remembering something. They're teaching a lesson based off of how things used to be and not necessarily how things are. These would be perfectly fine to sculpt in water-based clay, mold in ultracal, and clean out. This is not a problem. They're straight. You'd be able to get them out. The power washer would clean it out. It would not be a problem at all to do in the Sculpt. I have a look at my Nasher Sculpt on my web page. Yes, my web page. That's what I call them. Look at my Nasher Sculpt on there, and the amount of undercuts is ridiculous. But clay is just going to break off when you clean it out, and then you clean it out with water so it goes away. And then latex is stretchy and rubbery. So as long as you don't get air bubbles trapped in there, undercuts are not a big deal. They're just not a big deal. They're nowhere near the big deal that people think they are. It's something to be a little bit aware of, but not to the degree that people say.
Alan, do you ever apply eyebrows or eyelashes to your mask?
Yes, I do.
You need to turn one of the wools into a Bohomet mask.
To a what?
Bohomet, B-O-H-E-M-A-T-H.
Baphomet.
That may be where they were going.
Y-
But
y-
yes,
were you-
it's quite like, that's from Kiss My Glass Custom Burns.
Yes. Yes, you could easily make a Baphomet mask.
What straps do you use for the masks and how do you attach them?
So these are 3/4 inch elastic straps, and I use pop rivets. They're not pop rivets. They are double cap rivets. They are double cap rivets is what I use, and I put 2 on because one of them is like a seesaw point. 2 of them is stabilizing and much more comfortable. You don't have all the pressure on one strap. I'm using my airbrush to enforce some lines.
Do you prefer having your airbrush supplies splitter or hook change coupler for airbrush hoses? Now, a extra coupler that fits your airbrushes, should I send it?
I like my splitter because I don't use multiple of the same airbrush. I use the Harbor Freight and then I use this one. So I use 2 different types of airbrush, which are different thread count, different fittings. I appreciate that, I really do, but I am very happy with my setup that I have refined for years. It doesn't mean there's not something better, it just means that this is how I work and this is what I like. If you see like the t-shirt guys at the beach, they'll have like 8 airbrushes, one with each color. And I don't use that many colors in the H, so it's not a big deal for me to change colors.
Jeremiah just says it has both sizes on the metal side.
Can you send me a picture of that? Now, I think it would accomplish the same thing as my splitter. I don't know what it would do differently from the conversation that we're having right now through a computer and through another person. I am intrigued. I love to listen, but I think I need a picture.
Do you make the clamp bars that hold the styrofoam heads?
No, those are from Harbor Freight. They're just $4 clamps from Harbor Freight. As I'm painting, these are the exact same sculpt, so I'm trying to not paint them exactly the same since they're the same sculpture. Okay, I think I'm at that point on both of them. Swap this guy out. Okay.
Scott?
This will be a Jack Frost, but it also gets blue. So let's maximize what we're doing.
Chad Smith says, any word on the dark hour holiday show? You'll have a cutoff date as to yay or nay.
I have a meeting to go to here soon, coming up next week. There was a slight delay in having the meeting, but I'll know more soon. We'll see how it goes.
Ezekiel says, what's the inner secret on this one?
These are just sculpted and molded in place. The only trick to this is I don't want them to sag and flop, so I leave back here. I have this extra area set up, and all this is this is a bridge in order. You don't see it from the front when you're looking at it, but this is just an area to add support and to keep this ear from flopping down and for wiggling too much.
Hi, Gene Sanford. Mary Gordon says that Jack Frost could make a good witch, minus the ears.
Yes, it's one of those, my sculpting style, I kind of sculpt good-looking witches. Meg Mucklebones is one of my favorite movie monsters, so, I love her, and that design, Rob Bottin, excellent design on that. See, and then it's dark in it, and then in the haunt, that doesn't show up really much at all.
Ron says, it reminds me of Snow Miser. And Heaven Mojo says, Alan, do you know where one could purchase pigments to make their own alcohol inks? Got carrier down, ethanol, propyl acetate, and isopropyl alcohol blend, but I'm having trouble with the pigments.
No. You might try fuel oil dye. Fuel oil dye is that'll tint alcohol base, but you got to look at what's in it. It might have an adverse effect on latex. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Elliott, is it possible to make a set of fake dentures, or is it better mine? I mean, Winifred Sanderson Epoxy.
You can actually. You can make your own, and actually, an easy way to do it is with hot glue. Use white hot glue, and then the pellets, the same pellets they use to set all the fake dentures. So that's how I do a lot of mine. Because the hot glue, that plastic, it's a vinyl, so there's no off-gassing, there's no VOCs or any of that kind of crud with it. It's just vinyl. It gets softer when it heats up, and then it doesn't. So making my own like teeth designs to sell was something I was looking into, but I'm just too busy right now to do much more exploring and product.
Katie Elliott says, regarding pigments, might resin pigments work? And Celeste Kitty says, have you ever tried mica powder? Oh.
Okay, so I've got,
Did you catch that?
yeah, but she was talking to him, right?
Well, they're asking about the pigment, asking would resin pigments work. And Celeste Kitty said, did you ever try mica powder? Maybe that's
Yeah, she's talking to Happen and Mojo.
Heaven Mojo says fuel oil dye. Is
Yes.
that the spelling? Thanks for the help. I've never heard of it. It's time to receive.
It's DYE, yeah, fuel oil dye. And they need a special type of dye with a very distinct pigment, but it comes in a lot of colors. So that might be worth looking into. When I was looking at alternate ways to do contact cement paint a while back, and I went down that trail because I hate that you can't mix contact cement even a day in advance. It'll gum up inside the container.
Celeste Kitty was asking, have you ever tried mica powder before?
Me, no, I haven't.
Katie
I-
Elliott. That's right there.
I have a system that I like, so I use that, and that's what I do.
Katie Elliott, would you make them similar to the teeth you used on the derangements?
Yes, very similar process. But then you would take that gum plate and you would, we actually just cut it up and scratched it up quite a bit, and then you use the setting beads, the Instamorph polyplastic, whatever you want to call it. You use that in order to fit them to your own teeth.
Steve Dempsey 47 says the blue really makes the face pop.
Oh yeah. This mask is all about the blue. I'm gonna go a little bit of lavender under these eyes. I didn't do that on this guy. And I'm not going to use as much of the magenta. It's the magenta mixed with some of this blue in order to hit under those eyes. Is K&T do Halloween on here tonight? Are they on?
Let me see.
If you guys are on, I have a question for you. Because my plan is for this to be your Jack Frost you ordered a while ago.
No. They're not on.
I have a Jack Frost and I have a werewolf in order to...
Oh, yes, you are on. Why did you not come up? Yes.
Maybe they just hadn't commented. So my question is, did you order a Jack Frost because you want the ice beard? I think that the ice beard and the broken ornaments are going to be a bit of a clash on the mask. They're going to fight for dominance. I would recommend a regular beard on this and the broken ornaments. So let me know if you're okay with that, because I think that'll look better. Yeah, sometimes when folks order Jack Frost, but they want something else with it, you know, I have to make sure that they don't want the ice beard, because that's such a big part of Jack Frost. This guy is so cold. It's lovely. And I think I'm going to do the blood, not like super bright red. I think
Casey says, no ice beard, you go with what you think. But I would agree, that's a hat on a hat situation.
yes, yes. A hat on a hat, right.
Question from Tech. After the paint and ink on the masks dry, do you apply any type of sealer?
Yes, I do. I use Liquitex Clear Gloss Varnish. Sometimes I use High Gloss, and sometimes I use matte. It depends on the mask and the effect that I'm looking for.
Anthony Rat, would you please tell me what one to use to thin contact cement?
Xylene. You want to use xylene to thin contact cement. Xylene is what you want.
He says for making alcohol inks and oil paint, Gamblin Artisan Gray Dry Pigments, Dip, Lick, underscore. Katie Elliott, could you make use of a really stovepipe top hat? It's too big for most people I know. Without being rude, it might fit Ellen. I could post it to you, but I'd love for it to find a good home. She said, you got to get him.
I do have a large melon, and I would love a stovepipe hat. I have a top hat, but it is not as tall as I think my head could handle.
Andy Ferguson, I have 2 of your blanks that have been sitting around collecting dust.
How dare you?
How do I prep for painting?
Well, wash them off, clean them up with some soap and water or alcohol, and then let them dry. And then once they're dry, start painting. Okay. I think I have blued these guys up. They're both going to need actually some red. I'm going to give them a little bit of a shimmer first. Wife loves it when I put on shimmer.
Chad Smith, just thinking a cool weapon this character could carry is an icicle. What would be a good way to do that? Assuming clear silicone, but it would need to be rigid.
It doesn't have to be rigid. It has to not flop around. But what I have done is you take aluminum foil, you put aluminum foil around a 5-gallon paint stir stick, and you shape the aluminum foil into the icicle. I do some model blue spray paint on that, let that dry, and then I cover that in clear silicone caulking, and you get that multiple layers with the foil in there, and that is a nice icicle stabby.
Ellis Fire says, I've seen alcohol inks made with Sharpies.
Yes, yes. Sharpie is alcohol-based ink.
Bruce Brown says, hey, I can't thank you for the videos. I've been isolated for 2 weeks. They've really helped the quarter.
Well, I'm sorry that you've been isolated for 2 weeks, and I'm glad that they helped. That's a double. It's a twofer. Now we're digging through Allen's ink in order to find a color that I like.
Hang tight, big dog. Got a couple of things here.
More blue. Too blue. Stay out. So these inks have been sitting around in these bottles since the last time I had to do a bunch of Elven stuff.
Thank you, Jody Cardinal, for the thumbs up. Crisscross, your tutorials helped me with my mask for a haunted house we did. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, I'm glad to hear that. See, here is a task that I really should have my glasses for. These holes are not kind. I would die every time I heard that one.
Jerry Castaneda, I wanted to say thank you with your. I want to say thank you with your step-by-step tutorials this past Halloween. I made 4 graveyard statues and they came out awesome. We came second place in our city Halloween house decorating.
That's so awesome, I love that. I love the little straw on the carburetor cleaner. Fits right over top of the little nub on these guys, and then I can clean out that straw nice and easy. Once I clean it with carburetor cleaner, I want to right away clean it with alcohol.
Ezekiel asks, are you painting a guitar this year for charity?
No, that should have happened in March. I have the guitar. I was given the guitar, and then they said, never mind, we're canceling the festival. So I have this guitar sitting, and you know what? Maybe I will do it, but I'll just do it for a YouTube Wednesday. I don't think people would hate that. Do a nice epoxy clay sculpt on it. I was thinking something HR geekery. Are you on Top Chat or are you on live?
No, I'm on Top Chat, so it's good. It's just that.
Then you should do an all chat. Top Chat is always
No, I'm sorry. I'm on live chat. It's just that someone sent you some videos, some pictures, and they're not coming through on an email.
Oh.
So that might be because I'm here. I'll keep an eye out, see Nancy. But that is the correct email address. You are correct.
So I'm going to thin this a little bit with some alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol.
Maybe Ella says, hope it's not the X-rated Geiger stuff.
No, lots of babies and hoo-has in that. I'm going to go for like 80% less baby heads and 80% less lady bits. Remember, when you're mixing in a container, you want to use the zombie snail technique, which is your mixture is in here. You put your palm of your hand over it, your thumb goes underneath. These 2 fingers go down here. Now, do you see the snail? You do a zombie snail. New people who are watching is like, oh my gosh. But yeah, anyway.
Amy Elliott says, gorgeous color. Hello from Houston, says film 1982. See, Dempsey, it just came through. I got it. Maybe it was the pictures that took a little while to send, but it is here. Thank you so much.
It is a good color. I'm going to bump it with a little bit more silver ink in there. Look at how much that separates. So shake this up really good.
Love it. Zombie snails rule.
Zombie snails do rule. They'll take over the world
That's what it says.
eventually.
And the sound effects are important.
You have to go. That's the noise that zombie snails make. Ooh! Hear that? The ball is moving now. I didn't put the ball in here. Shaking, so important. A lot of issues are caused by understirred or undershaken paint, ink, whatever. Spray paint. No one shakes their spray paint enough.
John Ranger says hello, and it's nice to see you again.
Hello, John Ranger. It's good to be on again.
Says you just got a like from me for the zombie snail.
I'm glad that you enjoy the zombie snail. Zombie snail happens pretty often here in the shop.
Katie Ryder says, I'm always disappointed when I see snails. They don't have tiny saddles with tiny riders.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's a racing snail.
Oh, that's weird. Chocolate City, are you still going to make a tutorial on how to paint a latex mask without a paintbrush?
Yes. Yes,
Without
I
a
am.
paintbrush or without an airbrush?
Without an airbrush is what he means. I am. And you know what? I don't have one that I can do it on right now. But soon. Very soon.
John Ranger says, what type or brand of airbrush paint do you prefer?
Okay, so airbrush paint. I use an alcohol-based ink for this stuff, and the alcohol-based ink that I like is Pinata from Jacquard. Pinata color. This is silver. There we go. Should be an even prettier color now that I bumped it with some silver. But now that I added another color, time for zombie snail again. Warn your cat. Hide your cats, hide your dogs. There's zombie snails up in here. Because snails, like, they do have those big two front teeth like that.
Okay, sorry, catching up. John C. Fred Crop sells that body part snail called Snail Mail. 130, sold out till summer. Katie Elliott says, just thought of zombie slug, that might make a cool mask.
Mike?
Pat Swift says, a miniature painter friend has an adult toy business in the Netherlands and he has made some insanely interesting paint shakers. I have odd friends.
I bet.
I bet.
Yeah, I watch a lot of miniature painting videos. Not because I paint miniatures, I paint maxitures. So,
170 people watching. Katie Quintana says, I'll never sleep again, zombie snails.
okay,
I have seen
this is this part of the process. This is like Christmas in a bottle. Okay, I just put a little bit of sheen on these guys with this. You don't put a lot on. I want to just dust it. And it just gives them a little bit of a seasonal shimmer, like that. Now these elves, I'm going to do it a little heavier because this guy has other plans of his future. And the best way to do it is from the top, kind of shooting down.
Jarvis says, Zombie Snail is the name for a new band. John C. says, an arm and a hand in a snail form coming out of a head's mouth. Robert Ryan says I need to add zombie snail mask to the Wednesday sculpting list. Misty Jezereski, after the day I had, I need to laugh. Thanks, Al. Good night, big dog.
Good night, big dog.
John Lowell, being in business, you get a lot of adult toy companies trying to request your services.
Not so much now. I think in some ways I'm kind of I'm a fairly conservative guy, you know, as far as values and morality and that kind of stuff, especially in, you know, public persona. I don't think that's something that is public. So I used to. But now, if you know me and you know my online stuff, then, and you know my media and my social media, then you would also know that I, you know, a lot of stuff I don't even cuss, you know, so maybe let's not have him make sex toys.
No happening, no Joe, no furry story.
But there are several people who do make them. And every now and then they ask me for, you know, technical advice on mold making or material selection, and I do advise on that. I want to help people make stuff. Go make stuff. I didn't say what, man. You know, it's all up to you. Okay. I gotta put red in the airbrush now.
Cat Swift, this paint, is it silver mixed with a regular blue or is it a blue shimmer?
Silver and blue. Silver and blue. That's it.
Katie Elliott, rock consoles everywhere. It's not the devil horns, it's the zombie snail.
Yeah. If you do this, it's you know. I think.
KT Halloween. Do you watch Luke Towan, BCR? I love watching his water dioramas and videos.
No. I watch a lot of mini painting, but there's a couple people that I watch.
Team Grace, I was forced to take a break tonight. The company stopped by. Where do you find blue, or would you make your own substitute?
Well, see, I don't pour any non-pure colors back into the bottles, so I'm out of blue in the ink bottles. But the slightly off pure, like I have some of these bottles sitting around with blue. Same stuff, but maybe it's not as pure blue, so yeah.
Katie, I was talking to Katie. Isn't that funny? 173 people are watching.
Oh, so that's an air scrubber. So I put an air scrubber over here, and it's actually very good about keeping this stuff. You know, I'm not getting as cloudy here in the shop because I have two. I have one in that corner and I have one in that corner. But I didn't have one right over where I painted, so now I do. I've also changed the filters on them, so they're moving more air than they used to. That is a very clean airbrush. Tubbo, bucketo, stuffo. You touch my hand and I'm a king. There's no need to know the reason why I love you as I do. That's the wonder of you. You give me understanding. You touch my hand and I'm a king. You ever have a weird relationship in your head and you don't know where it came from, you don't know why, but when I think of snails, I think of Elvis Presley. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a relationship. I have no idea. But Elvis Presley, snails. color. Sample red. Alexa, add blue ink to my shopping list.
What can I add for you?
Blue ink.
Blue ink added. What else?
Oh, that's all.
Canceling.
No. Alexa, please add blue ink to my shopping list.
Blue ink added.
Katie Elliott, I no longer think saddles and riders is weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why they're linked. I don't know. Something happened in my head once.
Kate Moody's and Viscerous Trip. Joe Boss says, Big Buddy Allen singing that nice song, yeah boy.
That's a good song. Gotta respect the Elvis. Okay, I'm actually going to move these masks in case of overspray because I don't want, this is red. I'm going to be very particular where I put this. I want to put this where, well, like this paint job, doing the red on the tips of the nose and the ears, I completely stole from Ian Alderink, who worked with me at Dark Hour. He did it to some of our elves, and I'm like, I'm stealing that. He does the tips of the ears red like they're frostbitten, you know, and I like that. And then you do the tip of the nose. Just like that.
Katzman says, so much crossover materials and techniques. I have told so many terrain dealers about Allen's techniques and liquid nails has turned our lives around.
Isn't liquid nails awesome? It's really cool stuff. Okay, so this guy now gets that same treatment.
Monty Cook says, thanks AOX saves, but blue paint on my shop.
Hooray!
Steering Bull says, I changed my ALEXA to answer to computer so that I walk out and he doesn't set mine off. Now it goes off whenever I watch Star Trek.
Computer, add blue ink to my shopping list. You shouldn't have told me what you called it.
Katie Elliott is trying to attach her 8-year-old to the wall with the nails.
I would actually use a cyanoacrylate glue. I'd use like a super glue for that, or Gorilla Tape. You can Gorilla Tape someone to a wall.
And how do you know this?
It's not important, honey. Those people lie.
I have pictures.
Don't have the hose length that I used to. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
So Bob says, we're about to believe our boy Elric will kill those demon elves.
He would. Okay. That's those two.
Stephen Lewis says thank you. Captain Mojo says you're getting older, and Eddie Cruz says good.
Good evening. And yes, turns out I'm getting older every day.
So you.
I'm a little bit older and a whole lot bolder than I used to be. Sweet 16 is turned 30 on me. Ba-da-da-da.
Brandon Gray said it was awesome.
Thanks.
Celeste Kitty says, when my husband comes home from work one day asking why the kids take the wall, I'm blaming you, Alan. I had to, for science.
For science, that's right. And if your kid is like under, under 100 pounds, then I think it would only take like one roll.
Captain Mojo says he's quoting you. I don't have the hose link that I used to. Did you say that?
It's cold out.
Kanzarish says you should sing Cotton Eye Joe.
Sing what? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? All right.
He says, Daddy, are you going to stick us to the wall and rotate? He says, eat your lunch like that.
That's right. You got to behave, kids.
Katie Elliott says, Andrew is tiny and I tell him every year I'm fattening him up for Christmas dinner.
That might not even be child abuse in Australia.
What is my weirdest food experience story? With Alan or period? Joe Bosch says, did I just see Meg Mucklebones on the table?
No. I don't know what we saw.
Yeah, says, I want to say it, but I can't help it. It's looking a bit like Bozo.
Yeah, because there's bright blue, there's white, and there's red. Not a red round nose. But yeah, those are final colors. That happens. Once.
The weirdest food experience. I don't know that I'd
Who asked you that?
Celeste Kitty.
Oh.
Kind of weird one because there's nothing I hate. So if I try something new, I'd probably love it. Weird food experience. I like to think about that. I'm pretty game for everything. So if someone offered me something and it was strange, I probably liked it, and therefore it was not strange. Just unfamiliar. I don't know.
So
I'll have to think.
Shannon worked a Renaissance festival for a long time. And I worked the Renaissance Festival not as long of a time. Hello, Jones. But during that time, she was offered haggis a lot.
Yeah.
And I think there was a point in time she just got tired of eating haggis. So she would then avoid people who kept trying to give her haggis.
Well, they thought it was funny because they thought it was going to roast me out. It didn't roast me out. I was like, I've had it. So, but I think people thought that it was going to be something I was going to freak out from, and I was like, no, I've had it.
Your face freaks out.
I ate it. It's good. I'm good. And they were trying to freak me out, and I was like, no, you're yeah.
I can't imagine 3 of these not being enough for this head, because his head is not, it's just not that big. So I'm going to spray paint them so that the inside gets a color, but I keep the acrylic-y shininess of glass on the outside. I think Christmas ornaments kind of have to be red a little bit. Like that has to be one of the colors, right? Red and green. You go grab some red sproppin'.
Who's here?
See that?
Who's here?
Jones, Jones.
Oh boy. Yeah, buddy. Oh. How you doing, Daddy?
We're going over here.
Daddy?
He stepped on the turntable like, whoa.
How long does it take you to clean your hands after a day at the shop?
By my sink, I have a big pump bottle of lava soap and hand sanitizer, dish soap. I have all kinds of stuff right there by the sink. So just a good washing, it gets them. This is Jones. He has decided that right now is love time.
The first night you met Jones, what happened?
Okay, so Jones, he was found in a ditch by Mike Square, who works with me in the shop sometimes, and who works with me at Dark Hour. Well, he found this kitten on the way to Dark Hour for work.
Baby.
He found him on the way, and he brought him to Dark Hour. So when I got there,
Right.
he had stopped all progress. The costume people were not doing costuming. The makeup people were not doing makeup. They were all staring at this kitten. So, yeah. So I had to have my wife come in order to take the kitten. I don't want any red on the outside of this, but I do want red on the inside.
Ezekiel says as soon as he hears Jones meow, he's sleepy comes running. Everybody excited to see Jones.
Picture of petting another cat. Can't have that.
Jim Ritchie, hi. I usually watch your live streams on a device where I cannot chat, but tonight I can. So many thanks for the many sessions that I've watched, and I'll continue to learn as they learn.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so glad that you enjoy what we're doing here. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you to take the time and say, hey, we like it. I think that will protect it well enough.
It would be easier than a spray inside the globe and then rip it out.
Well, I'm going to spray inside of the globe. It's going to turn into a pore, so it's going to collect inside of there. And then I'll roll it around and drip it out. So it's going to be a little column A, little column B.
Steph says, our Seamus is a lot bigger than Jonesy. If I ignore him, he sits on my shoulder, rests his paws on top of my head. What will we tolerate forever?
Okay, so that's a red Christmas ornament. But it still has the look like glass because we painted the inside of the acrylic. I think we're doing just red balls. I don't think we need to do a green one.
John C. says, Alan, there's another song from 1968 called Nothingville. And he says, it's a rat race at snail's pace. Maybe that's what you
That's possible.
Text says fast orange can cleaner works well. It has volcanic pumice like strips.
Yep, I got some of that in there. Like, my whole sink is taken over with cleaners. And sometimes I have to use all of them. My normal hand cleaning regimen is 50-50 pump lava soap or cherry bomb. Pump cherry bomb soap and pump hand sanitizer. Because the alcohol is needed for the inks and spray paint.
This is neat. I don't have to type it.
There's a Elvis song that's pretty little known that I remember. I don't even know if I'm remembering it right, but it's almost like a comedy sketch where he is singing to a girl, or they're like, it's like a duet, and it's like, "Cowboy, cowboy, marry me, I'll bake you a cherry pie," and that's what the girl sings, and then he sings, "Thank you, mighty kindly, ma'am, but I'm too young to die," and then they have like a chorus of that, and then it's there's something else, I'll do this, and then Elvis sings something like, "Why would I drink from just one cow when I could drink from 20?" And yeah, she's trying to convince him to be with her, and it's not working out.
Celeste Kitty says, do either of you know how to play with Jarrett's balls from Labyrinth? I want to learn.
What you're talking about, you might not want to say play with Jarrett's balls.
Yeah, that's Celeste
You're
Kitty.
talking about contact juggling.
Awesome.
I am not a great contact juggler. I thought I had something here. I'm a passable contact juggler. I can do the 3-ball spin in the hand. I can do some of this business nonsense. I don't think I have one here right now, though, of any kind of decent quality. Do I have a... Well, yeah, all my balls are going to be light. That's a quote. No.
Ezekiel says, I've been wanting one of them big cups you drink out of. I got one today. Good stuff. David's Lemma, another shout out to you from Joint Base Lewis McCourt. I miss Halloween already, but I'm already getting ready to make props for Christmas.
That's awesome. And I got some props coming to YouTube Wednesday. It won't be this next week, but I think the week after I'm going to do some. Now, they're going to work for a bunch of different stuff. Like, there's nothing that I do that you have to do exactly the way that I do it. So you have a lot of options.
Hello, Edson.
Edson, what's up? Internet there for a bit. It didn't give me buffering. It just shut me off. But I'm back. I'm back on the same stream. We got 86 people on. I don't know how many we had before we lost it. We're back.
Okay.
Okay, great. We got an internet hiccup. All of this is just to make these pieces that will go on the outside of that mask.
Jack Scales, huge fan of your work.
Oh, thank you.
Tutorial on antique ink statues.
Cool. Isn't that a great way to just up their look and their value? You're upping their visual contribution to whatever show you're doing. Or just put them on a shelf. They look better.
Yeah, Edson, it's your fault. Edson says hello and you lost him. It's your fault, Edson.
I too blame Edson. Alright, I don't like having sticky spray paint on my hands. So I'm going to actually go over to the aforementioned sink of stuff. Cherry Bomb. This is hand lotion to get latex off of my hands and stuff. Dawn dish soap. There's some things that's better for. Here's the Fast Orange, like someone recommended. And then here is the hand sanitizer that I use for my hand washing. As they should be looking at my action figures. And I just use Cherry Bomb to give me some grit. No soap first. Now I'm not going to get super duper clean, but that's okay. A little weird. I'm showing you guys how to wash my hands.
See? Brandon's ready. As I stare jealously at your Beastman collection.
Oh, I do love me some Beastman. You know what? I actually have a lot at my office too. So, you know, every now and then someone will give me a double of something, and that just means that he goes to the office.
So your home shrine and your office shrine.
Yes. Wolfman, Beastman, Bigfoot, Krampus, King Kong. Those are all pretty, Yeti. Yes, those are all really, they're big influences in a lot of what I do. But no water right away. You know, the water comes later. Let the Fast Orange do some scrubbing. I didn't get the back of my thumbs, but it's going to get spray paint off of me. For a not thorough, short job, alcohol-based ink and spray paint, pretty good.
Jeremy Dempsey says no GFI outlet.
I do have a GF. Well, see, that outlet is run off of a GFCI outlet in the other room. So if that one shorts, it has an interrupt. This was wired when not everything needed to be on its own GFCI.
Brandon Freddy, where did you get that 18-inch Beastman?
He's not 18. He is the Masters of the Universe Giants.
Oh my gosh.
Is what he is.
What about that? How do you wash your hands though? Have stuff on them that can't go down the sink. Or, oh, is that why you don't use water right away?
Yes, and you might notice there's a 5-gallon bucket right there next to the sink. See that 5-gallon bucket right there? That's half full of water. So that's what that's for. That's a rinse bucket.
Joe Boss says it's a well-known fact that we men have a heart and we love collecting figures, including Funko Pops.
Yes. You know what? I didn't have that many Funko Pops, okay? Rue got me a Funko Pop of Beastman, and then John C. got me several of the Motu Funko Pops, and it's true. I love them, you know? I love them.
Ezekiel says, I keep meaning to ask, what's the favorite flavor on a Chicago deep dish?
You know what? You don't need a lot of stuff. Just pepperoni and mushroom, or pepperoni is what I like. And I love meat on my pizza, but a meat lover's pizza is not my favorite pizza.
Misty Desereski wants to know what kind of creatures do I like?
She likes me.
Yeah.
We're married.
See, I like supernatural. I like folklore. I like ocean creatures. Ocean creatures are always fun. Water creatures, ocean creatures, supernaturals. I pretty much like food. I like everything. Pat Swift, insane winds blowing here right now. So I chat, but no TV just stopped also. I have to catch on a replay. Good night, Pat.
Good night. Take care.
Captain Marga.
Be
Didn't
oddly
catch
windy.
feedback. She says Mona Lisa pink soap is miraculous. You get dry oil paint out of fine paint brushes.
Cool. Okay.
Jeremiah Dixie says it's okay. Fire marshal no GFI or covers on the outlet.
Hey, wife, can you come here and tell a quick story?
How long?
2 minutes. Minute and a half.
Tell the story. So, story of my Jonesy. Alan was telling you guys, make sure you guys can see Jones. So Jones was the night, it was a show night, and Jones was about 5 weeks old, way too small to be away from Mama, wherever Mama was. And he was thin, sick, had an upper respiratory infection, bad shape. When our buddy Mike found him, come here, Jones, and brought him to the show. It was a night I was not working because I had to work. And when I got off work, Alan was calling me. And it was about an hour and a half before the show started. And he said, "Would you please come get this kitten?" And I was like, "Well, sure." And he said, "I can't get anybody to get in costume. I can't get anybody to get in makeup. This kitten is, they won't stop, billing and cooing about it. And I can't get anybody to get ready for the show. Please come get this kitten and find it a home." I said, "Let's be clear. If I come get this kitten has a home. So let's be clear on this, because if you're going to ask me to come get a kitten and try to get it, take care of it, I'll be bonded to it by the time I get home. So, let's understand what's going on here. Come here, buddy. Turn around so they can see you. Come here, friend." So, literally, I ended up on the way there. I said, "Okay, I'm on my way." And I wasn't going to give him a chance to talk about it, so I made a run by. I stopped by a Walmart on the way, picked up some litter, a litter box, some kitten food, and I brought him home, and he was in terrible shape. And ended up taking the emergency vet. And by the time Alan got home on that night, which usually on a Friday night, and usually on Friday nights he would get home about 3:30. It's not bad. It's usually 4 or 5 on a Saturday. And he came home, and I was in love. The kitten's got a home. I had it named before I pulled out of the haunt parking lot. And we got him fixed up and got him well. And I was like, don't ask me to take a sick kitten home and then find it a home. This is why I fail at fostering. I would love to foster sometime. I think we'd be very good at it. The trick is that every time we've tried to foster, we still have the pets. So Tuxedo, our big black and white cat, was a foster. 11 years later, he is still here. Jonesy never found a home. I immediately had him named. Before I got to the intersection, I was in love. He was purring. I was headed to the emergency vet. Nah, it's over. So, what Alan won't tell you though is he is just about as bad as I am about it, if not worse. He's the champ of saving animals. And early in our courtship, I would see how he would stop and save turtles on the road, and how he would save any animal that looked like it was in distress, and stop and pick up animals, pick up dogs, save kittens, all these other things. That's what I knew. It's like, okay, you look rough, but you're a tender heart. And so it's a miracle. We have 4 cats and 3 dogs. It is a miracle
but that is all we have, because really, we don't have any excuse. It's not like we don't have room. We live out in the country, we have acres, and that's just, it's a miracle we don't have more. So he's just as bad as I am about bringing home strays and taking care of animals, which is really probably one of the better qualities. So that is the story of Jonesy. Jonesy was, he was better in about 2 or 3 days, and he perked up, and he started putting on weight and getting strong, and he is great. And now we've got our guys. Here's a pups. Pups are now a year old. So here is your animal lover review. There you go. Alan's back. I'm going to go read comments. Need a food break?
Sorry, I required sustenance.
There you have it.
Breakfast burrito. Shannon will make 8 or so breakfast burritos at a time and just put them in the fridge. And when I'm hungry, I eat one or two. I forgot my glasses. Not.
How's the burrito?
That was excellent.
Okay. Ketchup. McDonald's. Ketchup. Horror Beauty. We did. Alan saved the puppies. He brought the puppies home.
Yes.
Did you grab your glasses?
I did not.
Christy Desereski says, sounds like a story of a cat we adopted. He was abandoned in the campgrounds we were at. Only open for another week. He was very sick and everyone had already gone home. That was your figure.
Okay, so I'm looking at pictures of broken Christmas ornaments.
Okay.
And just so I have a good idea of shatter patterns, what's believable, probably going to be a little more jagged than I can actually get with my Dremel. And I'm not going to put anything super dangerous into an actor's face. So, let's go over here.
Also fail, guys. I don't even know why I bought it. Jonesy, the beautiful kitty. He's a funny cat. We love him. Okay. Celeste couldn't say the root. He didn't bring us the full plants. Hi, Terrence. We were moving a wood pile in the haunt uncovered a mouse nest and all work stopped so the moth could lose our baby safely and we put it on the farmer's perspective. You are my kind of people.
Hooray!
Save those devices. That is so cute. Ramadana, did you make a Sharpie holder out of the apron?
I did.
Amy Jarvis says, came home with a plate of baby top roller cake. My husband wasn't fond of it. 2 years later, he loves that food.
Okay, so I know.
Monty Freak says, what was the one master prop that broke the crazy?
What was the one mask or prop that drove the crazy? I don't really have that. Like this is, I'm just going to work. I'm doing work, and I don't know. And I'm not wired to remember the negative. Like I don't remember bad stuff. I remember positive things. I remember the good outcomes. I straight up do not remember all the frustration. So I'm probably a pretty terrible person to ask as far as like, you know, what bothers you the most. And I know that there's value in that to people and hearing that stuff, but I'm just not, I don't remember it. I'm not wired to remember that well.
Are those glass or plastic ornaments?
These are plastic, but I want them to look like they're glass. And I'm just drawing the cut, and I'll have to alcohol off that Sharpie marker here in a bit. And now I'm figuring out the best bit to use in my Dremel, or I think I'm going to try the soldering iron. I think that'll work. I've got 20 minutes. I'm not going to get this guy done.
Hi, Katie Elliott. Yeah, well, also we are different families.
Sorry guys, I'm grabbing a tool. Getting hot. And I have a finer tip on this one.
John C. says, my friend held up traffic on small highway that called the name Canada News family slowly crossing the road. My kind of people, John C.
I was hoping this would be hot enough to just melt the plastic pretty easy.
Have you obtained an LLC facility so it's necessary for a mass company?
Yes. If you're a company and you're doing business, then you need to be an LLC. Well, you don't have to be. I'm not an LLC. We're an S corp, and there's some reasons why I think that's a little better, but that's personal preference. Depending upon the situation that you might happen to be in. So we're set up as an S corp. Here's what's cool. This is not shattering. The polycarbonate is not shattering. That might be a DPE plastic. It might be a little bit of a different kind of plastic. But it looks like I can just cut scissors once I get it started. I'm going to get 2 halves out of this. And then I'll cut some of this flat so it can be embedded into a face. Yeah, so I'm cutting up Christmas ornaments in order for them to be jagged and stabbing into a character's face. I think this will look pretty cool. Boy, that would sound a little bit like legal advice. It depends on how you're conducting business. I do a lot of business outside of Texas. I do, most of my sales are outside of Texas. There's legal protections that S corps give you, and S corps give you benefits if you own more than one S corp that I like. But I mean, like this is not my field of expertise. I like an S corp a little more than I like a LLC. An LLC is probably my second favorite. Everybody likes that LL part, limited liability. It's just a way of protecting your assets. If I sold a mask to someone and it turns out they're allergic to latex, and nothing I did said it's a latex mask, and they assumed it wasn't, and they sued me, and they won, then I would have a level of protection in court from them. My personal assets would not be seized.
Like Gymnasty said, you got to test to make you feel like you. RLBY02, do you ever make anything for Christmas?
I do, and if you watch my YouTube Wednesdays, you'll see some Christmas things popping up. I've done a little bit of that in the past, but this year I'm going to do more. Simply because, the Christmas people need some love too. And I know that they get a lot of the retail love, but boy, that spray paint did not want to stay inside of there, so I'm going to have to paint it again before I attach. See, now we're cooking with gas. Now this guy is really doing what I wanted. It just wasn't hot enough before, but I like the scissored edge better. That's a thicker edge. I don't like it as much. It's doing a great job of cutting it and very cleanly, but it's leaving a little bit of a curl. That's another nice one. I'm going to add a little more jags to this one. That's a nice broken bulb.
Michelle Schulte, what I make it for Christmas, and also seems good for kids in schools that are low-income families. Just ask them to do it around course. Christmas projects would be great.
Yes. Okay, you'll get some. I have some good ones. I have some planned that I've never seen before, and I'll be honest with you. I've never put my brain in the way that I think towards Christmas stuff. I've never done it before, but I started doing it. And I'm like, oh, you can do this and this and this and this, and I look for it, and I don't see it anywhere. So I'm not saying I'm the first one to think of this stuff, but I think it's going to be some stuff you haven't seen before, as far as crafting and making things goes.
Soldering iron, mine is different tips, including cutting blades instead.
I have one of those. I have different tips for this very soldering iron, but I just find normally it's just a bigger pain in the butt to get it out, set it up, than it is a useful tool. No, I don't. I have a separate soldering iron just for soldering. That is not at all the same. So I think I'm going to need a couple of the back pieces too. That's still hot. Unplug that guy. I'm not really using it. Get a starter hole on this one, as I'd say that. Now's a great time for questions because what I'm doing I can talk and do at the same time. And I'm not as scatterbrained as I was before, oddly. Yeah, I have focus. Hi everybody. I'm cutting up Christmas ornaments to stab them into someone's face. How are you spending your Friday?
Says I'm working.
Hooray!
Celeste Kitty has asked that we save 2 spots in our February monster camp program.
Really? That'd be awesome. Come on.
Not that we've announced monster camp because we haven't. Let's be clear.
Yeah, we haven't announced the February camp yet.
We have not. We're waiting to see some announcements and such on the we hope to do one. Net Zero says, interested in doing a live mass cast for the first time. Would you suggest buying a kit or just raw materials?
I would suggest buying the raw materials. There'll be a lot of things in the kit that you don't need. Get a head cast size, and I also recommend doing it in silicone as opposed to alginate, because keeping that mold around, you're going to find so many other uses for it. I would highly recommend doing it in silicone. I would do it in gel 25 silicone, and I normally just get a 2-pound kit for it, and then I would get the wide plaster bandages, but there's a lot of things that, it's not that it's overpriced per se, but the impression is you have every single thing that you need when you get a kit, and you don't necessarily do it. Whatever it is you're about to do, whether it's a head cast or whatever, do the whole thing imaginary. And anytime in your head you reach for a tool or something, you write that down. So, okay, I have to mix silicone. I'm going to need a tub, write down tub. I'm going to need the A and B of silicone, write down A and B silicone. I'm going to need a scale to measure the silicone, so write down scale. I'm going to need a stir stick to stir it. How do I apply it? Go through all of the steps and then make sure you'll have what you need. And do that a couple times. I know it seems like you're wasting time when you mentally go through something like that, but I might mentally be going through one project while I'm doing a different project. It doesn't have to take up a ton of time. All that it has to do is, get that job done.
We'd love to see some animation stuff for Christmas.
Yes, I think I'm going to do some animated bucket buddies as elves. I just think that that's a good idea.
Jasmine says, I've been thinking of doing some Christmas weapons for hunters. It'd be long, but I haven't really seen them carried yet.
There's a few, but mostly you have to make your own. It's kind of a niche, and I think that not enough people are working on that niche.
Ezekiel says, praying I'll be able to get to St. Louis for Transworld at this stage. Leaving Australia isn't looking.
Well, let's see how it looks for Transworld. I think everybody is hopeful. We'll see how it goes. But Ezekiel, we'll get you however we can get you. You take care of you, and if, when your country thinks it's safe, that's when I'll see you. We'll be here. Monsters will be here.
We'll see you, Ezekiel.
And there's a Sugar Fire barbecue coming to Dallas. So, if you come see us here in Texas, we can still go to Sugar Fire.
From Austria. John Skellis, I'm curious as to how your creative process starts in your mind. Moreover, how do you commit and get the push to complete it?
That's just never been a problem for me. A lot of what I do is work, okay? So, I mean, how do you get the push to complete your projects at work? Do you complete projects at work? If you do, okay, so then obviously you value the reward system of money, more than you do your own happiness. If you complete projects at work that you're paid to do, but you don't complete stuff that'll make you happy at home, you have more value on the monetization of it than you do on the joy that it's going to bring you. So knock that crap off. Good morning.
Scotland. Stephanie G says, I'm late to the party. What are you making with the ornaments?
I'm making glass ornaments that are broken that I will be able to stab into a character's face. Why? Thank you.
Celeste Kitty says, windows, silhouettes, and shadow box type things are something I would be interested in seeing you try to figure out.
Okay.
Thanks, thank you, Scott, for the links. He's the master tech. Scott is faster than anybody. He likes to make giant dragons.
Yes. Giant stinking dragon.
Jack Still says, of course I like money, but not because it makes me happy, but because it provides the means to get supplies for my art. Only a student, but I'm working to be an artist.
There you go. Then, you know, as far as the drive for me to complete a lot of what I do, I'm making something that hasn't existed before. That's my real joy. And why wouldn't I want to work to bring that into the world? You know, let's make that happen.
Chad Smith says, what would be kind of cool to place 1 or 2 of these just the nipple part of the ornaments? Those obviously would break off with the hooks.
Yes, that's why I saved the hooks and I set them off to the side. So you will very much see this.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Karen S., $10 super chat. I've been watching your videos for years, just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, you'll definitely see that. Thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you, Karen S. That will pay for plaster and clay.
Yes. Shop supplies for the win. It's still work. You know what I mean? It's still work. And sometimes I do have to get motivated to get it back out here and get my work done. But I enjoy what I do, and there's a process, and my personal reward system is seeing it done. So the danger, all right, that I'm flirting with this particular project is that I'm stabbing these into his face. It's red, and then there's going to be blood. But I'm confident enough that my blood looks different enough from the red spray paint that it's not going to be an issue. And I'm also going to darken the blood a little bit, make it a little more of a deep purple blood, because I just like that look, and I think an elf blood would be a little different.
Sounds good. Angie Rogers says she has boyfriend gift extra for you. That sounds good.
No, that's why I got myself a barquito.
That's what I'm keeping in the fridge. Hey,
Yeah.
boy, it's hot.
Having food or something on hand is good because, you know, you want to keep working and stuff. And when we were doing Trail of Terror way back, which was a haunted attraction that was at Screens Halloween Park, we would go out and build it during the summer, and there was a long habit of, you know, lunchtime we would leave and go get some lunch. And where do I take, you know, 15, 20 people who are working? It can't be expensive, so I would go to a buffet like Ryan's or CC's Pizza, you know, which is terrible pizza. And so one day, but also, you know, they would fill up at this buffet and you wouldn't get as much work out of them in the afternoon. You know, you kind of shoot your own day that way. And they were in the air conditioning, you know, so that kind of makes them less tough. Hate to say that. And then, you know, so they don't want to work as hard. They don't feel good because they're full of garbage. And one day I said, okay, lunchtime. And someone yelled, like from the other side of the haunt, and we're outdoors. And, you know, they're maybe 200 feet away. And I said, okay, lunchtime. And someone yelled, where are we going? And I yelled, Double Dave's Pizza, which is the same kind of crappy pizza buffet. And someone goes, oh, God, not again. And Shannon goes, okay, I'm going to start cooking. And so then Shannon started catering lunches for the folks who were building the haunt in the summer. And that, I think she enjoyed it, but also it just kept things moving so much better because we didn't have to leave for an hour. We could take a half an hour lunch. You know, we just had to coordinate to make sure that we were ready to break when she was ready to serve. All that stuff. Yeah, and then we weren't eating crap. She was able to cook for the weather that we were having. She was able to just make it work.
Puppet master. Then bless Shannon of every scrumptious part.
Oh, it made a huge difference.
Sam G, thank you for $9 super chat.
Thank you for Super Chat. Super Chat. Thank you so much.
Amy Jarvis says, so why didn't you go with green for the ornaments to better contrast with blood?
Because green is not as holiday. You are way more likely to see red Christmas ornaments on a tree than you would green Christmas ornaments. People don't put green Christmas ornaments on their tree because they don't show up as well against a green tree. So you are much more likely to see red Christmas ornaments. So if I'm trying to sell the people that these are Christmas ornaments, they should be red.
So as Steve said, maybe put some green and gold stripes on the walls to go with it.
That is a level of painting that I don't know that Mr. Hops is ready for.
Ezekiel says, for the record, Mr. Hobbs, you should never feel like a hack. You're an unbelievable influence on myself and my kids for painting.
Well, that's very kind. I think it's an easy path. I hate to say that, but it's if you make things, if you're a creator, whatever kind of creator it is, if you are a creator, then I think you're just going to be a happier person, and you're going to make choices that make you happier. And I just can't imagine not being in love with making something. There has to be something that can come out of your head and out of your hands and go into the world, you know, and make it better. Why not? Okay, so yeah, this is a little hard to explain. Let me sum up. Too much to explain. So these are Christmas ornaments that are broken, jagged Christmas ornaments, and I'm going to stab them into a mask's face. And I'm going to do that. What's today? Tomorrow's Saturday, right? I'm going to do that tomorrow. I will be live at some point in time tomorrow, I know it's Saturday. I'm not always live on Saturday, but it's not a scheduled day off or anything. And I'm going to put this mask together tomorrow because right now it is 10 o'clock. So it is time for us to close up yon broadcast. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Halloween is over. Halloween came, it happened, wonderful. There's more things to make. There are more reasons to make. Maybe you make Christmas stuff to hone your skills and get better at making Halloween stuff. Maybe you make Christmas stuff so that other people see Christmas stuff being made and it inspires them to make stuff. It's making things that's art for art's sake, like yard display stuff. I think there's a special kind of joy in that. I really do. Because all of the effort that people are doing is to make other people happy. It's to make the viewer happy. And I just think that's a magical thing. But anyway, wife, why don't you say goodnight?
Good night, everybody.
I am going to say goodnight. Tomorrow, I don't know the time. It'll be in the evening, afternoon, evening. Probably not this late, but I will be live. I got a lot of work to do. I have Krampuses to make. I have elves to finish up. And but things are cooking. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Good night. Go make stuff.